The rumored 16-inch MacBook Pro is set to go in production really soon, with the release dates in October, November, possibly even sooner. I can't lie, the idea of having a larger MacBook really excites me, even if it's only 0.8 inches bigger. However, that being said, I do have some thoughts and concerns, and in this video, I'm gonna share them with you. Welcome back to another JC production. I'm Jonathan. Let's do this. Let's get my doubts, worries, and negative thoughts out of the way first. The biggest being that this is a first generation redesign in many ways. And we all know that when it comes to first generation redesigns, they're gonna be plagued by problems. If we take the iPhone X, for example, it was plagued by a lot of different issues, including the green screen of death, which I personally experienced. There were touchscreen sensitivity issues, there were battery problems, there were Face ID issues. There were just a handful of problems that needed to be fixed, and those fixes didn't really come until the next generation with the iPhone XS. That being said, if you're anything like me, then you might be considering just holding on to your current MacBook or MacBook Pro just a little bit longer until you see that there's no issues with this 16-inch. But if your computer is on its last leg, this might sound a little bit easier than what it really is. Luckily, I might have a fix for you with this video sponsor that's gonna help you squeeze just a little bit more life out of your MacBook. This is my wife's 2016 MacBook, and she's been having a lot of issues. She asked me to fix it. I figured this is a good opportunity to test out this video sponsor, which is CleanMyMac X. Let's go ahead and start with a thorough scan of this MacBook, find out what's going on, where the problems lie, and what we can do to fix these. So we'll go ahead and click the scan button, and it's going to look at what it can clean up, how protection needs to be applied, and what it can do to speed up this computer. This is really nice because it's like a one-click fix. As you can see, we can clean up 8.14 gigabytes of files. It says that there's no threats found, which is good. So there's no viruses or any malware or anything like that on this computer. And we can cancel 3 tasks or run 3 tasks in order to increase the performance. Now, I also went a little bit deeper and I removed any system junk files. I also checked out any photo cache that needed to be removed, as well as mail attachments and also iTunes junk. Ran all of that, cleared up a bunch of storage. We also checked out some optimization tools, made sure there were no hung apps or anything consuming too many system resources. And finally, we rounded everything off with some maintenance scripts. I ran every single one that CleanMyMac X offers. That way I can get the most performance out of this machine. The only thing that's left is to hand this over to my wife and see if she notices a difference. My wife just got home from work. I got her computer right here. It's time to give it to her, let her try it out, see if she notices any improvements.
Yeah, it's running really smoothly because before it had a lot of lag. I'm actually really surprised.
I know when it comes to spending money, you really don't like to spend any money.
I do not.
That's the balance that we have. I love spending money, you don't like spending money.
At all.
CleanMyMac costs $34.95, basically $35 a year. Would you spend that on that software?
Honestly, if you would have just told me about it, no. But literally seeing how smooth this is running, I almost gave up on this computer. I almost was like, it's time to upgrade, and everything's moving really, really
It's like a new computer.
smooth, yeah.
So if you guys are interested in CleanMyMac, I'll leave a link to it down in the description. Shout out to CleanMyMac for sponsoring the video. Awesome software. Definitely worked on my wife's computer. Now, of course, this is all speculation. The 16-inch MacBook Pro could drop and have 0 issues. And if it does, at least you have a sweet way now to maintain what you got, use it a little bit longer, and save yourself some money. The next thing I want to talk about is the design of the 16-inch MacBook Pro. When I first read about this, I had flashbacks to the 17-inch monster that had a big, beautiful display, had tons of ports, and a very spacious keyboard. Unfortunately, the more and more I read, the more and more it becomes apparent that they're basically going to be using the same shell as the current 15.4-inch, and given the fact that Tim Cook is a supply chain man, this makes complete sense. Use what you got, put it on a new product, charge more money for that product, generate more profit. However, from a consumer standpoint, it's just not cool. If the same body is going to be used as the 15.4-inch, that means potentially the same thermals, same battery size, and of course the same port selection. This is not a good upgrade. I mean, essentially, the only thing that's gonna change is slimmer bezels, a slightly larger display, and a new keyboard. Speaking of the display, it's also been pointed out that Apple will not be using OLED panels in the 16-inch MacBook Pro. I, for one, am completely cool with that, but I know a lot of people will have an issue, especially if the price is really high. Next up are the alleged specs. From what I've seen on many websites, it's certain that Apple is going to be reusing the Intel 8 series chips that are in the 2019 15.4-inch MacBook Pros. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it makes me feel that a refresh for the 16-inch MacBook Pro is going to be coming fairly quick in the first quarter of next year, since that's when Intel will begin shipping the Sunny Cove 10nm chips. Ultimately, this is just another reason to hold off if the rumors are true. Now, when it comes to the GPU, this one's still up in the air, but from what I gather, it's going to be slightly higher clocked versions of the chips that are currently in the 15.4-inch MacBook Pros, such as the Radeon and Vega chips. That being said, Apple could surprise us and release a higher end version with the Navi architecture, which would be awesome. Finally, let's talk about the price. Rumor has it that the 16-inch MacBook Pro is gonna start between $2,500 and $3,000. If it's on the upper end of this price range, that is a substantial price jump from the entry-level 15.4-inch that we currently have. This is gonna make a lot of people very angry. Now, you might be wondering, how can I be excited about a product when I already have a very negative perspective on it? That's not necessarily true. You see, the idea of getting a 16 to 16.5-inch display in a laptop no bigger than my current 15.4-inch is excellent. Not to mention, Apple is going to be using like a scissor type mechanism in the new keyboard, which is going to be a much better experience when it comes to typing and just durability as a whole. Plus, we all know there's going to be other enhancements and features such as possibly tweaked speakers, maybe better Touch ID, or if they really want to surprise the world here, the addition of Face ID into this new laptop. Honestly, what excites me the most out of all of this is the possibility of a 14-inch MacBook Pro to replace the current 13.3-inch. It really intrigues me to have such a big display in a small form factor, and this could be my go-to, especially if they drop a dedicated GPU in that 14-inch form factor. This is still all speculation, and I'm still very, very excited. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for the 16-inch MacBook Pro? If you are, sound off down below in the comment section. And I also want to know, what laptop are you currently using? Are you a MacBook lover? Are you on the Windows side? Let me know down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you're new here, stick around and subscribe. Click the bell icon so you can be alerted when new content drops. And I will talk to you wonderful people in the next video.